just listen to the song and then think about the guy who's singing wearing like a pink button-up shirt with his hair combed, holding the mic like right at the cord, so like it's sticking up, so he's holding like an ice cream cone, and he's just like walking slowly across the stage. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing just seems like.
So you saw him live?
Oh yeah, and like I saw him live. Like I was one of those kids that would always make a point to run up and like make sure the dude, the guys in the band, noticed that I knew every single word, and like I was, you know, and I love that. Like I mean, that's part of the fun. But yeah, play this song.
All right, this is Low Life.
This is Low Life from the record that's totally slept on, the self-titled Bouncing Souls record with the soccer ball on the cover. That's like another part where it's like. So like after my initial push, listening to all the bands I loved and stuff like that, there were always just the bands that kind of broke away and grabbed you. I mean, I guess bottom line, like songs, not even necessarily bands, but songs have definitely like owned my life since I realized that songs exist. I'm the kind of dude who will session a song for a good month and a half. You know, like a song. I'll listen to a song over and over and over again until I never want to hear that song again. And I'll take everything I learned from that song and apply it to making songs, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like I wasted the song because I enjoyed it so much. But like, there are definitely songs I can't listen to anymore because I listened to every day for 2 years. Like, I don't know if anybody's gonna either make fun of me or agree or understand why they would make fun of me but still agree, but the new Coheed and Cambria record, I won't say anything, you don't have to make fun of me out loud, but like the new Coheed and Cambria record came out 2 weeks into that At It Again tour, like 5.5, 6 months ago. To this day, I've listened to that record from start to finish every day since it came out. Sometimes more than once.
Wow.
And there's a couple records.
Wait, how long ago?
Like 5.5, 6 months ago it came out. And the Gimme Fiction record came out, the newest Spoon record came out pretty close to that, and I've been listening to both those records in their entirety pretty much every day since they came out.
How many hours a day do you think you listen to music?
Whenever I'm not talking.
Well, okay.
If I'm awake for 12 hours in a day, I'm listening to music for 9 of them. Like, if it's on. And if I'm like doing like an interview or you know, like hanging out with my son or whatever, we'll listen to music he likes, or I'll wait until the interview's over. But yeah, my life is entirely controlled, owned, and hidden from by music.
So you were listening to this stuff, but throughout this time, you told me earlier that you were rapping all the time.
Oh yeah.
And kind of writing raps, but you weren't necessarily. Well, what I mean, how did hip hop and
there's a couple things. I mean, at the same time as I heard the Black Flag tape and the Michael Jackson tape or CD, there's a cool CD tape. When I was hanging out with my cousins or whenever, like I'd be with them, they'd be listening to like UGK and like I got a pocket full of stones and like gangster rap, like gutter rap. My cousin Marvin was listening to like Apache Indian and like UGK and just riding around with me in the backseat of his car bumping that shit. And like, so like I knew rap, and then my across the street neighbor, Randy, he made me a tape of Doggy Style when that came out. So I listened to that like all the time. I kind of missed the Chronic by like a year. I didn't get into it later. And then like throughout all of it, I mean, I got into the Wu-Tang Clan, like right after Forever came out. Like I was, there's some of those, you know, there's sometimes where like there's hype about something, and then you're like, I should pick this, you know? Like you find yourself at Cheapo holding up like OK Computer and like a Dave Matthews Band CD going, I've heard a lot about both of these. You know? Like, that actually happened. And then I listened to, I was at Cheapo when it was still where it used to be, where Zeno is or whatever, and I was holding up OK Computer and Dave Matthews Band with the record with like Crash Into Me song on it. And you know, you can go and you can listen to it. So I listened to Crash Into Me twice, and I listened to Paranoid Android, because those were the singles. And I was like, oh man, this is easy. And then I bought Radiohead, of course, and sessioned the hell out of that record every day, all day, forever. And I still think that the guitar part in Crash Into Me is gorgeous. I'm not sure what I was talking about.
Well, just hip hop and how that started.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was always there. Like, it was always something like I just kind of hobbied around doing, and then.
But you weren't trying. You weren't ever thinking about putting a group together.
I was never gonna be a rapper. Ever. It was just.
Why?
Like,
why was that? Why did you feel that way?
Because I love playing instruments, you know, and I don't know, like. What happened? Rapping, freestyling, hanging out, writing verses. I wrote a verse for me and two of people that I saw at school in 5th grade. The song was called 5th Grade Crew by 5th Grade Crew.
Nice.
And it was one of those things where you like imagine these people are into the same thing as you, but they're probably not. So I just wrote verses and plugged my friends' names into them. Never did anything with it, just had it. I made a tape cover for it. I don't remember anything about the lyrics or anything like that, but that was that. So like it was always like, I mean, I always heard rap, so it was always like part of it. By the time it came time to rap, like I knew how to rap, you know. And it came time to rap in like 10th grade. I met Mike McClung from Doomtree. He was hanging out with his spiky hair and like big black horn rim glasses. You would not believe what this kid used to look like. He was just the coolest looking dude ever. And like the two of us knew about each other, but we never like hung out or anything. And then like the whole like Doomtree crew, Plastic Constellations, Building Butter Bombs, all really super incestuous like pile of friends. Like it's just how it is. So there's this thing called Septoberfest out in Hopkins, and it was like on, Halloween, October, Septoberfest. And Plastic Constellations played, the Killer Bees played, which is the Plastic Constellations plus Isaac from Building Butter Bombs, dressed up as Killer Bees, singing songs about being Killer Bees. It was the best band ever. And then they played instruments, and Mike started rapping, and I started rapping, and then Dave, Sist, started rapping. And then we all rapped together, and then I started bringing a boombox to school with a little beat tape that Mike made. And between every class, I'd meet him outside of every class with a boombox, and we'd just walk around freestyling to the next class. And then he'd spend his lunch hour, I'd spend my lunch hour and his lunch hour and the next lunch hour rapping and listening to stuff in there. Our friend Amy would drive us around in the car, and we'd listen to the Rhymesayers Headshots tapes, and we'd listen to the songs that we liked, like the deck of cards song, the atmosphere song, like the jam like the correct techniques, idea and ability song, and then we'd freestyle over the songs we weren't feeling so much, which I won't even say. But the songs we didn't like, we would just seriously just rap right over. And from me and Mike rapping together, and from Dave coming, Sino Species started, which was my first official for real rap group. I had been rapping with some friends from AA before that, but we didn't try and make a record or anything like that. Sino Species was my first rap group here, and that was we finished the record in 2000, put it out.
So how did it get to be the point of doing a whole record?
Mike had moved to LA again. Mike moved out here from LA to live with his uncle, and then for some reason he got kicked out and had to go back to LA, and we all hated it because we had a rap group called Rhythmatics, and we were planning on, it was me and him and Sist and maybe Crescent Moon from Odd Jobs would come through and do a verse sometimes, and it was just awesome. We were all stoked about it. And then he had to go, so it kind of fell apart. And then I went back to only focusing on the band. I was in Building Butter Bombs at the time too, and I called Sist up on the phone, and I was like, dude, you still trying to rap? He's like, yeah, I was actually just about to go to the studio and record a record. I was like, well, I don't have any money, but can I get on there? And he was like, yeah, sure. if you're serious. And I was like, yeah, I'm serious. So
that's how the See No Species.
That's how that happened. Is like we both really wanted to rap, and we were the only people that we knew that wanted to rap together. You know, I mean, we went to Hopkins High School. The only people that we knew wouldn't make fun of us. So like we just rapped together, made a record, put it out, broke up after 11 months. Like we made a record, put it out, and played shows for exactly 11 months, and then broke up. God, look at this dude. That's Stevie Jiggles. He rules. All right. So yeah, that's See No Species.
So, just briefly, I mean, the See No Species thing. Like, did he find Anomaly in the?
Yeah, he did.
Jason Hendricks.
He pretty much had it all set up, and I totally walked into it. He
he must have. I mean, because that was after Idea and those guys have been doing.
Yeah, that was like Anomaly is like a producer in the city. He does a lot of really cool stuff now, but back then he was doing a lot of hip hop and like producing. He made a record that came out on Groove Garden Records. Had a song with Slug. Had a song with Idea. All kinds of stuff. But like. Sist had already, by the time I called him, set up recording sessions with this guy, with Anomaly, and we were paying like something like $300 a beat for Anomaly's beats. And we'd go in the studio, and Dave would like give him money for the beats. I'd give Dave whatever money I had, but I was broke, you know. I'm like, job, and then that's how that went. He'd be paying, you know, I'd give him whatever money I had, but we'd buy the beat, make studio time, all this stuff. And after a while, I was just like, this is really insanely expensive. So we were making these songs.
For how old were you at this time?
Like 18. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how years work or anything. I was somewhere around 18. 19.
What was I mean, besides finding out that it was expensive, I mean, listening to those beats or like working in a studio setting, like a real.
Yeah, that was my first time in like a real.
What was that? What was that like as far as what did it?
It was cool.
Did you decide?
Well, the thing that I learned the most out of recording the See No Species record was beats are too expensive. Make your own. So like halfway through the making of the record, I ended up buying a MPC off of Turbo Nemesis, who had one but wasn't using it, and I made like the second half of the beats on the record. I got some beats from some friends for the record. This was all pre-Doomtree. This is when Doomtree was like just starting.
But were some of those friends Doomtree?
Yeah, it was like Marshall made a beat on there back when his name was not Marshall. It was funny. Emily Blowmobile sent some beats down for it. Like, yeah, there was stuff, you know. But I ended up making like this right here. This is my first beat ever from the See No Species record. The See No Species record is really hard to find. There's like 50 copies available in stores around here. We made 1,000 of them. We're never making a game. Like, we might leak out some of the songs, but like this is my first beat I ever made, and this is the See No Species song, Downtown Pirates and Playgrounds. It's about graffiti.
And it's you and Mike?
It's me and Sist.
Okay.
Sist still raps in this city, so yeah.
And this is Pirates and Playgrounds off the See No Species record. This is the See No Species record.
Yeah, it's a picture of
get a copy.
Me and our DJ bassist, who is my roommate Vance, kicking the other MC System. The record was called.
He has a paper bag on his head with a mustache drawn on it.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, this is Pirates and Playgrounds, See No Species.
It's kind of like Dr. Dre meets LP on the beat, with some amp thrown in there.
Upon the walls, getting up in bathroom stalls. The cops always got Don Davis on call, out in the chase to get famous. No remaining faceless, cheers to the writers, cause we know what your name is. Upon the walls, getting up in bathroom stalls. The cops always got Don Davis on call, out in the chase to get famous. No remaining faceless, cheers to the writers, cause we know what your name is. Verses to the hermits who work on full-letter words, even with both characters get censored. Learn from brands in hand, not that in fashion. The magic monkeys are cans and paper scribes, script the facts. The Bible, the rap, the city. Back halves got many apples. St. Paul cover literally. We drew the map. The writings on the wall. It may be hard to read. It's easy to see styles. The underlying meaning. Faith was on like flamethrowers, aerosols, and it's getting A-made the great for sure. Practicing, writing chapters in black books to try to advance. But thank goodness I'm no longer whack. We all been plastic. I for one out draw schematics. Ugly fast explosive mechanics to evolutionary to patent. So I add a one just to let you know. Let them know what? That I'll never be subtracted.
Pushing pilots, not whips. Black paint, thick trips. Huffing fumes, feeling silly with the tingling lips. The heart skip when the ship is sailing up. So the chip when your ass goes to jail. But I never snitch, just do what you gotta do. Those who fight in church and in their own pew. Grab 2 cans of cap and bomb it all. Always read the writings on the walls.
Picking up in bathroom stalls. The cops always got Don Davis on call. Out in the chase to get famous.
Remaining faceless.
Don Davis in the song where he says like, up on the walls, getting up in bathroom stalls, the cops always got Don Davis on call. Don Davis was the graffiti commissioner in Minneapolis at the time that we wrote this song. And ironically, the new graffiti commissioner immediately after Don Davis, I was the first person that commissioner busted for graffiti, and I went to jail. It sucked.
What did you write?
I'm not telling you. It's cool. But needless to say, I probably won't write graffiti ever again because it totally was not worth going to jail for. I ended up going to jail for like 3 days and doing house arrest for like 20 or something. Graffiti is a felony here if it's over $500 worth of damage. And it just so happens that all graffiti is $500 worth of damage because like sandblast rental is like $500. So yeah, you're screwed. So yeah, that was my first rap group.